Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, a cardiologist from Houston, Texas. The feature presentation today is hamburgers, the real truth. What's in these hamburgers and how they can affect your heart, how they can affect your blood sugar, how they can affect your weight. Let's unravel the whole mystery. I'm not picking on any particular company as far as the hamburgers are concerned because they all have something in common which we are going to explore, which you may not have known before. Because everything you see here is dangerous to your heart in some respect or the other, and I'm going to explain where. Let's start off with hamburgers. What's in the hamburgers? Of course, it is a great source of protein. It's a great lunch or a dinner meal. And when you take your kids to a burger place, they are having a good time. They are adding dessert to that, banana split or milkshake, whatever they like. But do you know what you're putting in your body? Do you know how it's affecting you overall? I was talking to the middle school kids in Fort Bend County in Sugar Land. More than 40% of the kids are overweight. Why? The calories have to come from somewhere. And let's explore that. This Burger King, Big King. But this is not the only one. There is what's called a heart attack burger place. And there are like 10 layers of meat burger places. So it applies to every one of those that serve excess amount of burger meats. And here's the reason why. Just take, for example, the Burger King, Big King hamburger. I'm just talking about the hamburger. I haven't even got into the fries and drinks and desserts. Okay, we're going to come to that later on. This burger has 1,000 calories, ladies and gentlemen. That is just the tip of the iceberg. Now let's see what else is here. If you look at the nutritional table, I hope you don't look at it or maybe find some alternative to this one because it is going to shock you. If you look at 1,000 calories, more than 50% of the calories, actually 57% of the calories are coming from fat. The American Dietetic Association, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association recommends your fat intake should be less than 30% of your total calories, and your saturated fat should be less than 7% of your total calories. But look at here, ladies and gentlemen, you are getting 57% of your calories from fat. This is not the good fat that you're talking about, like the omega-3 fatty acids or the polyunsaturated fatty acids, which I'm going to talk about in the later part of this presentation. We are talking about saturated fat. 26 grams of saturated fat and 64 grams of total fat. You are getting more fat than you're supposed to get in an entire day with your Big King Burger. Burger King Burger, I should say. And this is just not for Burger King Burger, but as I said, there are places. There's a heart attack burger somewhere in California. I saw an ad, and there are other burger places which boast about having 4 layers, 6 layers, 8 layers of meat. And you should ask them to produce the nutritional table for those before you even order that. But that's just not the only problem we are seeing with these burgers. And if you are concerned about your high blood pressure, if you have a kidney problem, and look at what's happening here, you're getting 2 grams of sodium. The sodium intake for a person with a kidney problem or hypertension is 1 gram per day, and now you're getting 2 grams of salt with just a hamburger. Please stay with me. And look at the carbohydrates, 57 grams of carbohydrates. It may not seem like a lot, but a keto diet talks about less than 30 grams of carbohydrates for the entire day. I'm talking 24 hours. Here, this hamburger, you can finish it in 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, you already got 57 grams of carbohydrates, 1,000 calories, 50%, 57% of your calories coming from fat. That's what's in the real burger, ladies and gentlemen. This is something you're not going to see. Of course, they have these tables all displayed in their places, but who's going to read it? Or who's going to educate you about the harmful effects of eating such high amount of saturated fats? It's going to increase your cholesterol. It's going to increase your risk of heart disease. It's going to increase your risk of vascular occlusions in the legs, in the carotids, everywhere else in the brain. I'm talking about generalized vascular atherosclerosis. I know you're getting tired of me just making all this noise, but wait, we haven't added the French fries. Yeah, let's take a medium size. I'm not talking about large size fries because I didn't even want to pull that one in because the calorie count is so high, I didn't want to shock you. So the medium French fries, which is average order, nobody wants the small fries. If you're eating French fries, you might as well eat the large fries. But anyway, let's settle with the medium-sized French fries. Oh my gosh, 400 calories. Oh my gosh, what do you say? Then carbohydrates, 50 grams of carbohydrates. You added 57 grams from the burger. Now we got 53 grams from the French fries. That's 110 grams of carbohydrates. And you wonder why your kids are overweight. You wonder why 40% of the middle school kids are overweight. Here's the answer, ladies and gentlemen. And look at the salt here. 570 milligrams. So with just the burger and the fries, you're getting 2.57 grams of sodium, which is dangerous if you have high blood pressure or kidney problem. Okay, I know you're getting tired of me telling all these things. Let's see if there's anything better that we can look into. And let's see. Okay, I forgot about the drinks. I'm sorry. Here's the drinks. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this table? 387, this is a medium-sized drink, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whatever you drink, they are all same, all right? So I'm not picking on Coca-Cola. I'm picking on the nutritional contents of the average fast food burgers with fries and drinks. I have not even added the dessert. If we add that I don't know what your favorite is, banana split or milkshake or something like that, that's going to add another 300-400 calories. 400 calories coming from your soft drink, most of which is from carbohydrates, gentlemen. And look at, you're getting 97 grams of carbohydrates. Oh my gosh, this is worse than your burger and French fries put together. You're getting close to 100 grams of carbohydrates in your soft drink, and you think your blood sugar is not going to go up? When you're getting close to 200 grams of carbohydrates in your Burger King, Big King, burger, fries, and soft drinks. 200 grams of carbohydrates. That's more than a daily allowance of carbohydrates for a normal person. And you wonder why your blood sugar is high, why your cholesterol is high, and why your fat contents are high, and why you're gaining weight. There's the answer, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, what is the alternative? But if you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, you're eating beef, which has the worst nutritional content as far as diabetes, heart disease, and vascular disease are concerned. But look at what cows eat. They are eating grass. Where do they get their protein from? That's a great question. Where are they getting their proteins from to build these big, strong muscles? If you think about it, most of the protein comes from the plant source. Of course, a tiger depends on real meat. It wants to jump on the deer and just choke their carotids, rip off the meat, and just be happy. It can go for a week without having food until it finds another target. But most of the animals depend on vegetable sources for protein. So why can't we look at vegetable sources for protein because there are so many advantages to protein coming from the vegetable sources because they are nutritious, they are low in calories, they have minerals, vitamins, and enzymes. So what are the alternatives to high-fat animal protein coming from beef, pork, or any other source? Let's look at. There are hundreds of sources of protein from plant-based. Look at all these grains, all kinds of grains. They are good source of protein. They have low amount of fat and they have very low amount of saturated fat. Take your pick based on your ethnic background and what is grown in your parts of the world. You just select these and incorporate them and create your own burgers. There are lots of plant-based burgers. The commercially available plant-based burgers are as bad as the beef burgers in terms of fat content. I'm going to show it to you in a table in a couple of minutes. So let's look at, there are nuts. Nuts are great sources of protein, but a lot of these nuts like peanuts, are high in fat content, and that's something you have to watch. Anytime you get something, you look at their nutritional labels. Otherwise, you are going to be taken for a ride by these commercial ads. But the other advantage of these nuts like peanuts, walnuts, macadamia nuts is high content of polyunsaturated fatty acids, which lowers your cholesterol level, along with omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential fatty acids serving as the building block for the body's enzymes and also the network of tissues. And here are some of the sources of omega-3 fatty acids and the amount of omega-3 fatty acids per 100 gram. You have pistachio. Then we have these pumpkin seeds. Well, if you look at this chart here, you will see the pistachios have 354 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, whereas macadamians have 206, and if you come down here, walnuts have almost 9 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, whereas coconut has 0. Coconut is very high, 75% saturated fat content. And similarly, pecans are good. Almonds have very low level of omega-3 fatty acids. So I would look at pistachio nuts, walnuts, pecans, or pecans, or pecans, whatever you want to call it. And here's a table showing the plant-based protein sources and how much protein is in 100 gram of this vegetable source of protein. You can pause the video and take a look at and see which ones do you want to select. There's one thing that is not in this list, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But if you look at soya beans, it has 36 grams of protein per 100 grams of the seeds. And the list goes on. And as you can see, peas have very, very little, 5 grams per 100 grams. So if you are looking at vegetable sources of protein, I would say pumpkin seeds, soya beans, and there's one more which I'm going to talk about, which I'm saving towards the end, to the end of the presentation, because that is what I believe in and that is what I use. Okay, let's move on to plant-based burgers. Beware. So what do you mean plant-based burgers? Beware. They are the best replacement for animal products. They are the best, they taste good, they taste like real burger, and they have good nutritional protein. What is your problem? What are you talking about? Okay, slow down, I'm going to explain to you. And let's look at this chart here that tells you, first of all, these plant-based burgers. Yes, they are a good source of protein, but remember, they have a good amount of fat. 20 grams of fat per burger, that is 4 ounces. And same thing here, Impossible Burger, 17 grams of total fat and 13 grams of saturated fat. Here we have 20 grams of fat. So you have to think about this, the fat content, and also look at the sodium content, 570 milligrams and 380 milligrams. So these things are important when you're looking at, because if you have any conditions like diabetes or heart disease or kidney problem or hypertension, some of these things can have adverse effects, even though they are plant-based and they are a good source of protein, but the amount of fat may be much higher than you would expect in a plant-based burger. So what is the alternative? You sound like a cranky kid. I know. Okay, I tell you, edamame is one of the best sources of protein. I have done research extensively. I have a separate video on beef versus beyond beef, and I also talk about like vegetable sources of proteins. Edamame is the best source of protein and has the lowest amount of fat. For 8 ounces, you get only 8 grams of fat, 1.5 gram of saturated fat compared to 26 grams of saturated fat in your Burger King Big King burger. What an astronomical difference between these two. See, what I'm trying to do is teach you how to fish. I'm not handing you a fish that can harm your blood sugar, that can harm your cholesterol level, that can harm your arteries and kidneys. I'm going to hand you how to make your own burger patties using vegetable sources such as tofu, such as edamame, and combine them and mix it with your favorite ethnic spices and make your own burger. And when you do that, you're going to have the best of both worlds. Number one, you're getting plant source of protein. You're getting very low amount of saturated fat and total fat content. Number three, they are the best source for your heart and kidneys and high blood pressure. They have very low sodium content, and you cannot be finding something better than this option. And when you go with the nuts, always watch for the amount of fat content, because the nuts also have a fair amount of calories coming from the fat. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a very quick overview of the burger, the real story, and what you need to do to stay away from heart doctors and diabetes doctors and high blood pressure doctors and kidney doctors. Thank you so much for watching this presentation, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video.